An Edinburgh-London coach carrying about 40 passengers and travelling between 50 to 60 miles per hour ploughed into a line of cars and vans. Held up by lane closures on the M6 southbound carriageway at Barton. Preston, in all 13 vehicles were crushed, turned round and round or tossed several feet into the air, and many of them burst into flames. Fire broke out also in the front of the coach, where 3 passengers died instantly. Slowly the smoke started to spread down the coach, and the remaining passengers made for the emergency rear exit door, from where there was a 4-foot drop to road level. The emergency door was opened, and the solid mass of people in the aisle began pushing those in front. Many fell awkwardly and hurt themselves as others fell onto them. And there was an immediate desire to get as far away as possible from the coach. By the time the last few passengers reached the rear of the coach, much of it was ablaze and it was full of smoke from end to end. This was the situation which greeted James George Smith when he stopped his northbound journey and ran across the motorway lanes to the scene. It looked like a battlefield, and it was difficult to know where to start. But he heard that there might still be some passengers in the coach, and he went to it to see if he could help. He observed that its engine was still running and that it was on fire from the front. He found an emergency cutout button at the back of the coach and pressed it to stop the engine. The rear side exit door was closed, and Smith reached up and turned the handle. He opened the door and saw a clear air space of about 2 feet at floor level, and just inside the door was an unconscious man. Smith reached inside and dragged the man out. He then carried him to the central reservation where there was a group of people, and leaving the man there, Smith returned to the coach. Somehow the door had closed, and he reopened it and looked inside. Collapsed on the floor of the aisle, he saw another male figure, and, crawling into the coach, he dragged this man to safety. Smith then crawled inside the coach again and made his way forward past the second or third seat from the door. The smoke was so thick that he could not see a thing in front of him. But his hands felt another body on the floor of the aisle, and he dragged this person out of the coach. It was a male, and Smith ensured that others were on hand to apply resuscitation and slash or first aid. The entire length of the coach was engulfed in flames now, and it was impossible for anybody to go near it. So Smith went to other vehicles which had been involved in the accident to see if there was anything more he could do. Smith was later taken to hospital where he was treated for shock and smoke inhalation and detained overnight. 13 people died in the accident, 3 from the coach and 10 from cars struck by the coach. But those rescued by Smith all recovered after resuscitation and hospital treatment. One of the persons rescued by Smith was not a coach passenger, but another rescuer who collapsed in the aisle from smoke inhalation when the emergency door closed behind him somehow, and he was unable to open it. Smith was awarded the Stanhope Gold Medal and Silver Fire Medal of the LSHS.